today. My Arctic friends have come out to play with me. I hope it's not this cold in today's Mazin Miracles. Let's ask my friend Cyril. Cyril! Brrr.
Hello, it's really cold here today. Typical British weather. I've chosen today's Amazing Miracle because it's got a hot fire in it. I'm nearly a frozen squirrel. Brr, where's my scarf?
There was once a king who had made a golden statue, and the king said, "Everyone in the land will bow down and worship my golden statue, and if you don't, you will be thrown into the fiery furnace." Okay, we will bow down. Now there were 3 friends called Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego. "Well, we're not going to bow down and worship that statue. We worship the one true God. We're not going to do that." Just so happened that some Babylonians heard them say that, and they called the king. "King! King!" "Yes?" "Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego won't bow down and worship your statue. We just heard them." "What?" shouted the king, and he started to shake with anger. "Right, bring them to me." So Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego were brought before the king. "What's this? You won't bow down and worship my lovely golden sparkly statue? How dare you? I will have you thrown into the fiery furnace." "Well, that's fine by us," said Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego. "We won't bow down to your statue. We worship our God. We trust him to look after us." "Right, guards!" So the king sent for the guards, and the guards tied up Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego really tight, and off they marched to the fiery furnace. On the way, the king shouted, "Right, crank up the fire! I want it 7 times hotter than it was. Off you go." So Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego got nearer the fiery furnace, but the heat was so hot that the guards died, just like that, and into the furnace they were thrown. It was very hot in the fire, but God hadn't forgotten them, and he sent someone to look after them and keep them safe. Now the king was watching all this. "What's this? I spy 4 people, not 3. Right, bring them out." So Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego were brought out before the king. "What's this funny business? You don't even smell smoky from that fire. A bit cheesy, but smoky. What's going on?" "It's our God. He has looked after us and kept us safe, just like we said he would. We trusted him and he has helped us." "Well, that's amazing. I've never known anything like it. From now on, you can worship your God and I might give you a bit of a better job. Amazing. Come with me. I think this could be a miracle, you know."
Well, God really looked after those guys. It must have been so hot. I'm going back to my tree house to keep warm. See you next time on God's Amazing Miracles. Bye.
What a miracle! Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego were thrown into a fiery furnace. Can you imagine being in a fiery furnace? Oh, it must have been so hot. And the king made it hotter and hotter and hotter. Whew! Have you ever burnt yourself? Oh, I burnt me bum once on a radiator. Ooh, and it really did hurt. It can be very serious. We must be very careful. Now, God was with Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego, wasn't he? And they trusted him that they would be okay. They had trust that God would look after them. And God did look after them, didn't he? He sent that angel to protect them. Now, what sorts of people do we trust today? Well, let's have a little look. We trust in our grown-ups to look after us and help us out. We trust our teachers to teach us and help us in school. We trust the NHS, doctors and nurses in hospitals to help us get better. We trust emergency workers to rescue us. We trust vets to look after our animals. We trust the breakdown services to come and help us when our cars break down. There are lots of people that we put our trust in to help us out, aren't there? Now, take a look at my tin. Ooh, do you fancy a nut or a raisin? Can you hear them rattling in there? Would you like one? Do you trust me? Yes, I hear you say. I trust you, Louise. But, oh, it wasn't really nuts, was it? It was a joke tin of nuts. And sometimes we put our trust in people and they don't always help us out. Sometimes they can let us down a bit. Now, there's a verse in the Bible and it tells us, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do you think you could do that? Because if you do, God will never, ever, never let you down. Now, if you want to read more about Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego, put on your Bible reading glasses and you can read this story in Daniel chapter 3. Anyway, I've got to go. I'll see you next week. Bye.